Here it finally is. I've told my mates about it, and now it's about backing myself and keeping to my word. So we'll see how this goes. My English will probably struggle a lot, but I'm sure it'll get easier as I go on. So I'm writing an IAC tomorrow. It's quite daunting in the fact that I've already passed my undergrad. I've passed my postgrad in October. Found out in December and then had to start studying for this one. But they say your chances of passing your first time is almost better than any other attempt. So hopefully tomorrow, Tuesday and Thursday go well. So it's 3 days, 4 hours each day. I write from 9 to 4 each day. No, sorry. 9 to 1 o'clock, sorry. And then it's full reading time and writing time included in one session. Then when you get to the venue, you have to scan and show that you are present, and then at the end scan in again and just upload your script for if anything goes wrong with the hard copy, because sometimes it gets damaged or stolen or lost in transit, because SAICA is obviously a big company and who knows how many people are writing. And that's the cool thing, like even if I don't pass, you get 6 attempts to write IAC within a 3-year period, and it's all just to become a CA. So that's the main goal. I'm obviously hoping to one day become one, but I've had a few failures along the way, and I'll make a separate video about that and a few other videos as well, because it's a new year, so I'm accepting new challenges. So the last thing about IAC specifically is just the subject integration, where they can test any of the 4 majors: accounting, tax, auditing and management accounting. And it's about being ready for anything, and just showing them like what you know, writing as fast as possible but also making sense. So the best way I've learned to explain how to do tests is, imagine the person that's marking doesn't know anything about what you're writing. So how do you explain to them in a way that they can understand it and you show your knowledge? Because with subject specific things, you still have to know the theoretical knowledge and then apply it to the scenario. I'd say that's almost all that honours was, is application of the scenario. But I want to talk about how I prepared, the do's of the before the test, and then the don'ts. So how I prepped. Firstly, it was accepting I was burnt out. After my honours year, I really felt I couldn't focus, I couldn't stay engaged. I was nervous about just the fact that I had to write IAC. For a moment I hoped I didn't pass and that I knew I could write a sub instead of the IAC. But it's about accepting the doubt but moving on from it. Never keep looking into that doubt or think you're less than or anything like that. So I took a few days off, especially November, and I was like a week late to one of the board courses that my university recommended. But Christmas and New Year's I made sure to see family and friends, forget about all the exams and stuff coming up, because if I were to be focused on that, I wouldn't have been present and I wouldn't have been able to relax. I would have been so locked in, and it would have probably created more anxiety than anything. So with that being said, I obviously got behind schedule, but it was about accepting that. Accepting I'm going at my own pace, I'm doing this my own way. I know what worked in honours, but I'm taking the most out of what other people say how to prepare, and that's just by doing tests. So I did subject specific tutorials, I did mock exams that my board course allowed us to write, so that's what they believed is some good like scope for the IAC and what needs to be tested or what you haven't been tested on maybe at varsity. And it was good exposure, especially the first paper. I think I got like a 40 or something. But paper 2 and paper 3 went really well, because I scored like 69 and 71, but that's mock exam. So IAC, you don't know what's coming, and they can test you about anything you've studied from your first year until past your honors. It's just about what's examinable. So it's just good exposure. Then I did the integrated tutorials, so that's more where the subjects are integrated. The scenarios are prior SAICA ITCs or IACs as well. And then it's just about learning what they want to test, how you must think, how you must read the required, because it gets quite technical, especially with how I answer questions, and then I mark my attempts, and sometimes I'm seeing that I'm way off and I don't score the necessary marks that I thought I would be able to, or I miss easy marks. And that's also good for prep, because with honors you just study, write a test, study, write a test. For IAC, it's more like you've studied, so just pitch up, write the test, see where you're going wrong, and then exam technique. That's the one thing. Even my uncle, he's been a CA forever, but his journey was also very long and tough. But even he said, just exam technique, focus on how you write, what you're thinking about while you're writing, and don't make like a mountain out of nothing. Like, figure out where you're missing marks and how to reflect properly, because that's the other thing why I was feeling behind. I mark a lot longer than almost my attempts sometimes. And I messaged a few of the lecturers at my university, but also the board course, and I asked them, listen, I feel like I'm doing it too slow. I feel like my marking is taking too long. But because it's a new test every time, it's not like you know what the marks are given for. So it's about just accepting where you went wrong, seeing how to improve, or what are good exam techniques that you've already applied, and where can you create another good habits. So they helped me a lot in that sense, where it was more like, just do it at your own pace, accept that you might mark longer, but properly revise and reflect, and then by the time the IAC exams come, you'll be able to feel confident in your ability. So I've also been, with that time away from studies, I've been blessed to talk a lot to friends and family. I've went to my church, well, a few churches over this time as well, just seeing other people, how they practice religion, and just talking about life, because I think with the new year, it's so exciting. And that's why the IAC is so hard, because literally next week I start working at an audit firm, and like, my focus still has to be here, where I want to be. Like, I want to start hiking, I want to start saving money, I want to have fashion. Like, it was quite like, just lock in for this period, focus on now, I'll party afterwards. So all that's scheduled already. I'm quite excited about seeing all my mates and just catching up with everyone that's like being kept away by studies. But that's a good thing. Like, I chose to study, and I chose to be committed to something. Now it's about just finishing it on a good note, and then hopefully the APC also goes well. And obviously this video isn't to say that I'm gonna pass or whatever, it's just about finally posting something. So the last few things I'll talk about is the do's and don'ts for the exams. So my do's, I'm gonna pack my textbooks. I've got them all ready. They don't have notes in. I've made sure the flags are sharp according to the SAICA regulations about the textbooks and the handbooks, like what's allowed and what's not allowed. Then my registration forms and the IAC regulations, I'm gonna read that tonight just to keep calm as well. And then good sleep. So the last 2-3 weeks, I've made sure to at least start waking up at 6 a.m. And then I saw I had to be at the venue almost 7:15. So I started waking up at 5 a.m. and I live with my brother actually. So it's helped me a lot, because he also works and he has to go to work by 6. So we've kind of gotten into a good schedule here, and I'm locked in once again. I have lots of food. So today, cutting my hair driving to the venue, seeing how the traffic is on the way to the venue, because I didn't want to rent out a place and spend more money. So buying a lot of food. I actually do it with steers, mostly with the Wacky Wednesday, where I buy on Wednesday, say, one Wacky Wednesday special, 2 burgers, cut it up, and then one for the first test and then one for the next day or whenever. So I've bought some Burger King. I'm gonna cut that up tonight, and then like bar ones, lunch bars, apples, bananas, oranges. I wanted narkies, but there wasn't any at the shop. BioPlus sachets, those with the caffeine in, they work, and I usually take it in the middle of the test when I feel like my energy is dipping, or I feel I'm not writing fast enough, because my reading speed, this whole past year I've actually started to read 3 books, but I'm reading them all at the same time, so it's like 10 minutes a day, and then just seeing what I can remember to help my recall and just memory skills. I've been sober this whole month as well. I feel that's gonna help a lot. So I'm also hydrating a lot tonight, and then the morning before I go to the test, because it's a 40-50 minute drive, so I'll have a lot before then. On my way there and by the venue itself, I'll keep it to a minimum, just to ensure that bathroom breaks aren't slowing me down or breaking my focus. I want to use the bathroom break as just a reset. Yo, it's been tough, this broke me, but let's go back. Just take a breather, come back with a new perspective, and let's go. Because you have to back yourself in this, and you have to trust the process. Obviously you're not gonna know every single answer or how to answer, and I've seen that with my prep as well, just being in no man's land, and I feel that's good exposure. But I've also learned that the imposter syndrome and all the things that come with studying, especially a degree this hard, is just backing yourself. Even if you don't know, rather go in with the mindset I'll be able to figure this out, instead of this massive doubts above your head creating more anxiety or pressure, and then you can't perform or you hit a blank. That's the worst thing you can do. So it's just accepting that feeling, meditating on it, getting used to not knowing what's going on or what's needed here. Just write what you know and write it as fast as possible. Alright, so I already said I tested the traffic this morning. It wasn't too bad, and then I tested my app. I'm gonna do it tonight as well for last demo check, and then the regulations, as I said. But the don'ts, okay, so these are things you should avoid the day before, the week before these exams, or any exam for that matter. Don't accept doubt. It's gonna keep you back. It won't let you become who you believe you are, or your parents say, or your friends say you are. If you accept doubt, you'll always be what that inner voice of you thinks you are. Move on. Hear it out, accept the doubt, but move on. It can't keep you down. But that's also for life, not just for exams. Then I won't be experimenting with anything tonight or the week prior. I've tested some pills for studying, but it actually is more relaxing than anything, so I'll avoid that. I deleted YouTube, Netflix, Facebook, most of my social media. I still keep Strava just for showing people that I'm taking study breaks and trying to become fit again, so that's also in the future. And alcohol, avoid alcohol, weed, mushrooms, all the substances which are prohibited, but alcohol especially, because it affects your sleep, it affects your recovery, it affects how your brain operates, it affects how you think about things, and I would just say avoid alcohol, just because it's so lacquer, so you might have more than one. Especially with the anxiety, it might help you calm your nerves, but then tomorrow you're regretting that choice, and that regret is almost more harmful than the drink itself, because now you're why did I do this, why, and rather just have nothing you can question about how you prepared. Like, just back yourself and create an environment where backing yourself becomes easy, and people around you that motivate you and keep you locked in, because that also affects how easy it is to study. If I had a lot of people saying negative things or creating self-doubt for me, or just, and that's social media as well, you're living in other people's lives. I didn't want to do that, especially this. I just wanted to stay laser focused. So hopefully this goes well. The last thing, I won't rant too much about it, but I might. The last don't worry about what's to come. Like, worry in a good way about it. Like, you'll never be able to feel ready or to really know what's coming, but don't worry about it. Like, tomorrow has its own worry. Like, worrying about what's to come will create more anxiety, and then you might study tonight and you don't have enough time for your brain to recall or remember what you just worked, and then that fog creates more doubts or anxiety. Like, I keep going on about things. Like, accept that you won't know what's coming, accept that it might be hard, accept that you might be broken, but you still have another attempt the day after and the day after, because you just need 50% for all three together, not just 50 for each one. You just need a minimum, I think, 40 for each paper and then 50 for them in aggregate. So yeah, keep on pitching, just show up for yourself, trust your prep, even if it was bad or whatever. And I'm talking like, this is more for me, like, just, you've already worked so hard. It's just about proving this to the Marcus. It's about proving this to SAICA. It's about becoming who you once dreamed that you will be. It's becoming hopefully a CA. And this is just part of the journey towards that. So I'm very stressed, but I'm very excited. And tonight is just about taking it as slow as possible. Just chilling. So tonight I'll avoid YouTube. I've watched too much YouTube now because it was my off day basically. But tonight I'm reading some books. So I've got them lined up, ready to go, because that also helps me avoid my screen time and blue light. And then going to bed like 8, waking up hopefully 5, just packing my last few lunch things, and then having a day, making a day of writing an exam. Like, why not be happy to be writing? Why be stressed about something you've worked so hard for? Just enjoy the process, enjoy the resilience you've shown on your way towards this degree or this journey, or just something that you once dreamed about. Like, just back yourself, man, back yourself. Yes, man. And I definitely say the last thing is, this is for exams, this is for work, this is for studies, this is for anything basically, is talk about the things that's bothering you or stressing you out. Like, keeping it in, having it bottled up, or just create so much more, like, just a cloud. And it's about accepting that you aren't in control. You control what you can control, but be fine with the things you can't. Because you don't know how they're gonna market, you don't know what's gonna happen on the day of the venue, but you're gonna visualize being in the venue, having like this stress about not knowing what's in there, but you've done all the hard work. So accept that feeling, accept that it's gonna come, accept that you are strong and you're capable of doing like difficult things. You've done so many other difficult things and you've survived so many things. I mean, you're still here, you're still able to fight. So why not fight? Why give up now the day before an exam? And I'll probably end off with that. So Rion from Montgomery Park, keep your funds, are you Damer-fast? And your fingers crossed for me that it goes well. And I'll probably only know by April what my marks will be. And by that time, it's almost my honors graduation. So it's just gonna be a good month. And it's just about being happy for myself, just coming to this point and finally being able to rest hopefully after this and not spend my weekend studying or worrying. So yeah, Rion from Montgomery Park, finally over and out.